Alright, let's dive into the story of one of the wizarding world's most chilling and honestly, most tragic figures. He was a brilliant strategist, a master of disguise, and a fanatically loyal servant to the Dark Lord. Today we're talking about the making of Barty Crouch Jr.
So here's the big question, right? How on earth does the son of a powerful, high-ranking ministry official, a guy whose whole career was built on hunting dark wizards, end up becoming one of the most devoted and sadistic Death Eaters of all time? It's a seriously dark and twisted path, so let's unravel it.
Okay, so let's start where most of us first really met him, even though we had no idea at the time. The reveal was, one of the biggest shocks in the entire series.
That's right. For an entire school year, the man we all thought was the grizzled, paranoid, but ultimately good-hearted Mad-Eye Moody was actually Barty Crouch Jr. in disguise. Think about that for a second. This absolutely brilliant, year-long deception is our first huge clue to just how smart and how terrifyingly dedicated this guy really was.
To really get who this man is, we have to rewind, all the way back to the boy. His story truly begins in the long shadow of his powerful family, where the seeds of all that anger and resentment were planted very, very early on.
And here, you see this stark contrast. On one side, you've got Barty Crouch Sr., a man completely consumed by his career, obsessed with his ambition to become Minister for Magic. He just had no time for his son. And we're not talking about physical abuse here, but this deep, gnawing emotional neglect. Then on the other side, you have his frail mother, who absolutely adored him. He was trapped between a father who saw him as an inconvenience and a mother whose love was everything.
And the crazy thing is, the guy had so much potential. Now, it's never been officially confirmed, but the rumor that he was a Ravenclaw makes total sense. His intricate, detailed plot to infiltrate Hogwarts and rig the entire Triwizard Tournament, that required immense creativity and cleverness. That's peak Ravenclaw, just, twisted for the absolute worst reasons imaginable. He was undeniably brilliant.
So, you've got this super sharp mind and a heart just packed with resentment. His teenage years were basically a ticking time bomb. He didn't just stumble into darkness, he sprinted straight for it. Just look at how fast everything went downhill. He probably became a Death Eater right out of Hogwarts. And within a year, he's involved in one of the most horrific crimes of that era, the torture of the Longbottoms. Then, just as quickly, boom, he's captured. It all happened in this terrifyingly short amount of time.
And get this, he was 19. Just 19 years old when he was captured and tried. Barely an adult, yet he was already responsible for an act of just unspeakable cruelty and was looking at a life sentence in the most feared prison on Earth.
And if you think he felt neglected before, well, what happened next was the ultimate act of abandonment. This trial wasn't just a legal proceeding, it was a devastating public humiliation. His own father was presiding over the trial, and to protect his own career, to project this image of being tough on crime, Crouch Sr. publicly disowned his own son, who was begging for mercy, and sentenced him to life. Can you even imagine that level of betrayal? The one person whose approval he probably craved his whole life just threw him away for politics?
But there was one person who never, ever gave up on him. His mother, completely heartbroken and dying, came up with a plan that was as incredible as it was tragic.
The plan they hatched was wow. It's just as heartbreaking as it is ingenious. His dying mother goes to visit him in Azkaban. They use Polyjuice potion to swap places. Barty Jr. literally walks out of prison, disguised as his own mother, while she stays behind to die in his cell, disguised as him. It was the ultimate sacrifice. But here's the kicker. His freedom was a total lie. Instead of an Azkaban cell, he was now locked away in his family's home. And for over 10 years, his own father kept him hidden from the world, controlling his every thought and every move with the Imperius Curse. Can you imagine? Escaping the worst prison in the world, only to be mentally enslaved by your own father? This decade of hidden psychological torture is so important. His mind wasn't his own. It was a constant battle, every single day, for years. It's no wonder he completely lost it. So, this all brings us to his final, absolutely terrifying chapter. And it takes us right back to our central question. After everything he went through, what kind of man did he become in the end? The moment Voldemort freed him, he just got to work with this chilling efficiency. He murdered the father who had enslaved him, he flawlessly pulled off the insane plan to capture Harry Potter, and he stayed loyal to his master right up until the very end.
His final fate was the Dementor's kiss. His soul literally sucked out, leaving nothing but an empty shell. A truly tragic end to a tragic life. And so that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Was he a born sadist? I mean, he did commit those horrific acts against the Longbottoms before the worst of his trauma. Or was he a brilliant but broken boy, twisted into a monster by a father's profound neglect and the ultimate betrayal of being mentally enslaved by him? You know, maybe that neglect created this huge void inside him, a void that only a powerful, demanding father figure like Voldemort could fill. The answer is terrifyingly complex, and it's what makes him one of the most disturbing villains we've ever seen.